I was in New York City when it happened. It was as surreal as it was devastating because it's the first time you felt engulfed in horror. Well, second, if you were married. You were in the heart of evil. It's not a movie. It's not something you can't walk out of because it sucks. And you're in it and it changes you forever. The same way a person is changed forever if they are a victim of a violent crime. You can't have these baby thoughts about silly things. You can't just shrug it off as something we deserved because we're so mean and powerful. That day was something else, and the something else is called evil. Sadly, that's forgotten as many now occupy their brains with like gender pronouns and self-obsessed grievance. But I'm pretty sure if you were on the 95th floor of a burning building and the fireman rescuing you called you the wrong pronoun, you'd let it slide. Some events in life have a way of putting things in perspective, the difference between what's important and what's trivial. 9/11 was one of those events. But this 20-year conflict, for some, has been back-page news, including politicians and media. Not as interesting as Britney, Kaepernick, or Black Lives Matter. There's too much stuff to think about, and a lot of it really doesn't require thinking at all. Just feeling angry and looking important and saying what you're told to say. We've insulated the country successfully from our conflicts, but by insulating them, they now have no visceral response to this moment, this event that affects millions of people. It's so good here, people don't even know it's good. We assign false bravery to the loudest voices. Who can cry the hardest? Who can claim the most victimhood? This relates to 9/11. On that day, almost 20 years ago, we were reminded that we were Americans, not blacks, whites, gays, trans, non-binary woodland creatures. We didn't proclaim our separate categories. We were Americans. Too bad it took 3,000 innocent souls violently snatched from us to remind us of that. That's not tribalism or nationalism. It's understanding what you share with each other, that you were attacked for being you. Fact is, in 2001, we were Americans. But in 20 years' time, we've been coerced by a profit-seeking media to reject that. You could argue these entities have done more psychological damage to this country than any outside enemy, creating a whole industry off of hating America. Because inciting wars between each other means profits for companies, power for activists, and a distraction from real evil. On the 20th anniversary of 9/11, we call people who don't want a vaccine terrorists. Fact is, as long as we are at each other's throats, who needs terrorists? Al-Qaeda did 9/11. The rest is a self-inflicted gunshot wound as a result of friendly fire.